Welcome back. This is the 27th edition of the Slammer Brothers podcast experience,
27,
man.
brother, yeah.
27, man. Yeah. The universe, man, is aligned. Dude, that is a beautiful belt that you have with you, sir. Could you please explain for anybody who's going to be listening to this later, like what that belt is?
This is the probably the best looking championship belt that has ever been crafted
Mm-hmm.
by one Mr. Reggie Parks. This is the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship belt, the Winged Eagle, introduced shortly after WrestleMania 3 and retired just after WrestleMania 14. But this is the world title that I grew up on, that you grew up on, and that anyone who's a child of wrestling in the 80s and 90s, this right here is the title.
That is the title. No, that was the most coveted prize in all of professional wrestling for the longest time.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, hello, seductive steel.
Hello, seductive steel.
Hello, Linda Handerfeld.
Linda
Yeah,
Hanford, yeah.
Linda Handerfeld. Yeah, dude. So interesting day. I'm sipping on a Diet Coke right now.
I'm having
As
some
you know, I
coffee.
love me some Diet Coke. It's very interesting when you go through a drive-through that has all kinds of delicious food, and you're just like, "Hey, can I just get a Diet Coke? Do you want anything to eat off the menu?" I'm like, "I would like to eat your entire menu, but for now, could I just get a Diet Coke and move out of my way, please? Please do not tempt
Yeah,
me, temperess,
yeah.
temptress."
It's sad. Like I get these weird cravings. Like yesterday, for some reason, I just wanted a frickin' pretzel, man.
Dude, you know what I was craving? I was not craving a pretzel yesterday, but you know those like big cookies that you get when you go to like an amusement park or a carnival or
Oh
one or a
yeah.
festival? Oh, how good would a cookie be right now with some
Mm.
M&Ms and chocolate chips thrown in that bitch? Oh my god.
Oh. Oh.
But we
Uh,
look shredded. What up?
yeah.
Oh, dude. But I bring up Diet Coke because my former employer, and I've decided not to name his name, but you know who I'm talking about. He was recently on the Adam Carolla show, and he had essentially talked about how he was like announced dead for like 3 to 5 minutes or something crazy
Yep.
like that because he had a Tony Montana sized pile of fentanyl that he thought was cocaine right in front of him. So he nosedives into it, and basically, apparently they had to keep resuscitating him, bringing him back to life. And I only bring this up because the Diet Coke came up. Uh, this is the guy who berated me for 15 to 20 minutes inside of a freaking crowded LAX, nearly to the top of his lungs, because I decided to drink a Diet Coke that I paid for with my own money. And he's freaking slamming down fentanyl and putting himself under. Clearly, there was a reason why I stopped working or talking to this human being like 12 years ago, but still, I just found it rather ironic, and I'm going to enjoy a Diet Coke because I've had about 6 of these. Never ended up in the ER from a freaking Diet Coke.
Mm. Well, the issue with the fentanyl, that can happen to anybody. I mean, honest mistake. I mean, what you think you're getting a little bit of nose candy, and then well, I'm just kidding. But hey,
Well,
everyone has to have a vice, man. For some people it's fentanyl. For you, it's Diet Coke. For me, it's Americano coffee, baby.
oh, dude, I had. Here's the thing. So, in the world of beer, and please correct me if I'm wrong
Oh
here.
yeah,
In the
we'll be
world of
drinking some
beer,
beer.
if you go to a brewery and you say you want the blonde ale, typically the blonde is like the lightest beer they have with probably the least amount of alcohol in it, correct?
Well, it depends. I mean, there are stronger blonde ales, but I guess typically, sure, the blonde ales will tend to be light on the lighter side, and have a lower alcohol content than say some of your ambers or things of that nature.
So what happened was I was at Starbucks, and normally I get like a half decaf Americano
Ooh.
just to get a little bit of caffeine, but not a lot. But for 48 hours, I was like cranking out like 15-hour days just get code done for both my employer and somebody who goes through my consultancy because I was down a guy, so I had to
Yep.
get the work done. Um, so I I'll tag that in a minute. Seductive Steel. So
Uh-oh.
I order, I'm like, oh, the blonde roast. Well, the blonde roast must be like the easy one because thinking in terms of beer, that's probably like the starter coffee. And as I'm drinking the coffee, I'm like, I'm way focused afterwards. And I'm like freaking cranking stuff out. I'm feeling like hey, I got a little more energy than normal. What was in this? I look it up. I'm like, how much caffeine is in the Grande Blonde Ale coffee? Turned out to be 360 milligrams of caffeine. And I tell each and every one of the Slammer Fitness clients to stay under 300 milligrams a day. You can be within 400 a day and you're good according to the American Heart Association, but I tend to keep them under 300. But yeah, man, it's like you after like 200 milligrams, you start to run into the laws of diminishing returns at that point, and you're just fucking up your system for very minimal gains. By the way, like people think, yeah, caffeine's gonna like get my metabolism going. Well, it kind of, but it's like an extra 100 calories a day tops. Like that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I drink, honestly, I drink decaf. I drink a lot of decaf Americanos, decaf espressos, just because I like the taste of coffee. Whenever I'm talking to somebody about, changing their diet and things of that nature, I mean, you got to have a vice, a healthy vice, right? So you can't like inhale a pizza every day. But, for me, having some decaf espresso, like no calories, no carbs, no nothing, I'm good to go. But I love the taste, I love the flavor.
Oh yeah, I love the taste, the flavor. You mix in some like 0 calorie sweetener like Splenda. Oh, and
I
then
use
like
equal.
equal. I use a little bit of Splenda. And then I bought this. It's like 5 calorie a tablespoon creamer. That essentially it just tastes great. It tastes like cinnamon toast crunch. So because I can't eat
Ah,
cinnamon toast crunch, I get to drink cinnamon toast crunch every morning, and it's about 75 milligrams of caffeine, 5 calories, and because I have to use my brain a lot, as do you throughout the course of a day, it's very helpful. Um, a mug. How much is an average mug of coffee? Well, it
I think they're like
depends.
90 to
90
110.
milligrams? Well, it depends on how big your mug is. Are you talking? Is it like an 8 ounce mug? Is it a 12 ounce mug? Also, you have to look at like what blend of coffee you're putting into it, like how it's prepared, that kind of thing.
Let's see. I'm looking it up right now.
You should look it up. Oh,
A
do you
cup
ever?
of brewed caffeinated coffee can have anywhere from 65 to 175 milligrams, according to the medical journalist,
Ah, well, there you go, Seductive
depending on how
Steel.
it's brewed, man.
I use Italian sweet cream in my coffee. Okay, I've never had Italian sweet cream, but it does sound awesome. Sounds like some extra calories that I can't have right now. But
I
it's
I use fat-free half and half, which begs the question, what's the other half?
um that is a good question. So
I don't
here's the
know.
thing: I'd rather go higher on fat than I would on carbs. So that's kind of where
Mm.
I'm at on things. But
Well, I just pounded 2 cans of tuna, man, so I'm feeling good.
yeah, I just ate some chicken and veggies. I posted my entire diet on, one of those daily stories on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Post my daily diet, and people are like, "How many
I
carbs is that?" I'm like, significantly under 50.
I had
So,
your breakfast for dinner last night. The ground turkey with the egg white omelet.
oh, dude, it's good. So yeah, oh, dude, what I've been loving is at night I'll eat bison meat and egg whites.
Ooh,
So I get six
yeah.
egg whites, some bison meat. about a cup of veggies, and oh my god, it is incredible.
I'm
Like
just
very,
look
very good, my friend.
I'm just looking forward to a little over 2 weeks to go.
Mm-hmm.
That Saturday night, you follow The Rock on Instagram.
Yes, I do.
I think any red-blooded, well, human being follows The Rock on Instagram. When you see his epic cheat meals, when he's got like stacks of pancakes and like an entire
Oh
pepperoni
god,
pizza,
yeah.
Saturday night it's on, man.
Oh, absolutely. Now,
Ah,
The Rock has got. Now, here's the thing. Does The Rock claim to be natty, or is it one of those things where he just doesn't outwardly say that he's not quite there? Because, look, guy's got great genetics, hard-working guy. We can both agree with both those facts, right?
yeah, here's what I'm going to tell you. Yes, I completely agree with everything you said. Is he natty? Who cares? I would bet a significant sum of money that he's not, nor does he have to be, because his whole job is just
He's got to look a certain
looking
way
a
for his
certain
job to
way.
keep those checks coming. So I,
I,
I don't care. In fact, my thing is, it's like you have like the purist side of the fitness community, um, who are just like, oh, is that guy natty? Well, he doesn't say he's not natty, so he's lying. It's like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, do you want to?
here's what I'll tell you. Regardless, that man works.
Oh, he works his ass
His
off in all
workouts are
facets of his life.
nuts.
Yeah.
And to get into that shape at 48 years old
Well,
for
he's
Black Adam,
49, isn't he?
49, yeah,
Yeah.
48, 49. My God,
Hold on, you guys are gonna
oh,
go from sexy fit to Paul Blart. First off,
balls.
we do. You could see our off-season pictures. Now, granted, my abs do get a little flabby,
Of course.
but it ain't no Paul Blart. I ain't no fucking Kevin James in that. And Kevin James is a cool dude, but no, not. We are not gonna go to flab. It's gonna be more like a
Mm-mm.
nice.
Beach season's coming up, man. I'm keeping my abs.
Oh hell yeah. Me, I'm just gonna get a little extra thick this off season. But here's the thing: if you can't see your abs, you're not bulking. You're getting fat. Like that's what I tell people. So
Hmm.
the clients that I train who who are in an off season, they want to put on size. I'm like, okay, cool. But if you can't see abs, you're not bulking, you're not in a surplus, you're just getting fat. And what goes up must come down. So now you're going to have to be in a deeper deficit for significantly longer to see your abs come back. So that's why I tell people 500 to 1,000 calorie daily surplus and 500 to 1,000 calorie daily deficit. And if all you have is 6 weeks to get prepared for a show, natty, and you're 20% body fat, I'm not even gonna try to prep you. I've had people come to me with that before. It's like, hey, I signed up for a show, life happened. What do I do? Well, how much did you pay to register? 120 bucks. I'm like, well, I would try to get a refund or just say goodbye to that 120. Or just do it for life
You need,
experience, but you're not going to be ready.
well, so everyone's going to spend, everyone's got to do what they got to do, right?
Oh, of course.
For me, looking at this next long off season that's coming up, because I think it's going to be a while because I really want to get bigger, right?
Yeah.
Um, a 500 to 1,000 surplus, that's a good goal to have, but it doesn't mean you got to be like getting it by drinking beer and eating pizza every day.
Exactly. No, like that's what I mean. It's when I say it's a surplus, it's a surplus. It's not getting fat. It's not
Hmm.
like you might get 2 or 3 extra cheat meals per week because hey, we're trying to boost your metabolism, but you're still going to
Yeah,
be eating the same stuff. It's just going to be different ingredients that carry a little bit more calories to them. That's it.
a-
Like
a-
so
and that's what I'm looking forward to the most is being able to just open up the diet a little bit. It doesn't mean, open the floodgates, but it just means, hey, I can have a little bit more of this. I don't have to watch my carbs, to the degree that I am right now. And, to respond to the previous comment, you know, being that we've been in this mode now, getting ready for this for literally the last couple of months, having, some epic cheat meal, well, it's really a reward meal on that Saturday night, I'm totally okay with that.
Oh, dude, I told people I'm beelining it to get pizza. I don't even care if it's good pizza. I don't
Dude,
care if it's like Plaza Hotel, like when they have pizza on the
oh,
menu of a restaurant, but it's not even. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
we still have standards, brother. All right, we're gonna get you pizza, but it's gonna be good pizza. We're not gonna fill you with that freaking pinup nonsense that they have in all the hotels there. No, 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 or Sabaro or any of that bullshit. We're
So
gonna be eating. We're gonna be eating good. We're
this
also
is
gonna be
the.
drinking good because I'm actually coming prepared this time. Because if you remember, when I got off stage the last time, I said all I want is a beer. And by the time we were able to get over to the bar, the only thing that they had was freaking Bud Light. And I know you love your Bud Light. Okay, I'm not bad mouthing the Bud Light. All I'm saying is that I wanted a good, dark, carby ass beer, and all they had was freaking Bud Light. And then because I had been in that deficit for so long and was so freaking thin, I had half that beer, and I'm sitting there in the room spinning. Total bullshit. If the room's gonna spin, it's gonna be because I'm drinking Dead Guy Ale or something that's super carby. I don't give a shit. I'll worry about it the next day on Sunday.
100%, bro.
End of
Nah.
rant, brother.
Oh yeah, brother. Listen, brother. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Here's the here's a question for it. No, I'm sorry, you had something.
Oh no, I was gonna say I just want pizza, a burger, like a good one. But go ahead, man. You asked the
So
question.
so we've got a little over 2 weeks, right? So and there's some things we're going to talk about. So that we got the Royal Rumble in just 2 days. This coming Saturday. And then we've got next week, which means that if we continue on our Thursday uh, schedule, that means that the show after next, are we planning on doing a live remote from the palatial estate in Las Vegas that Thursday?
Oh, absolutely. We have to. Like
Yeah.
as soon as we get off stage, we're gonna have our trophies, medals, whatever we got. We're gonna talk about the outcome, what went down, and yeah, we're gonna stay on board, buddy. That's
Sweet.
absolutely. And my dogs are going crazy in the background. Can you hear them?
Yes, but it's
Oh
okay.
God. Yeah. So I have no. I'm so sorry. Like, because here's the problem with WeWork was it was too insulated, so the sound didn't come out right. Now the room is all opened up, but I have dogs that bark at random crap all throughout it, and I'm like, why are they even barking in the backyard? Nothing ever happens out there. So that's what
Mm.
I'm dealing with right now.
So, with that said, can you take over for a minute? I just got a work call, so I just need to respond to that real quick.
Yep, you respond
Mm.
to your work call. I was
Sorry,
I was
folks. I'll
actually
be
gonna
right back.
I was gonna pass it to you so I can go shut my dogs up, but I guess I gotta keep people entertained.
Give me 2 minutes, brother. I apologize.
Nah, don't even worry about it, man. It's totally cool. I'm here. So Steve is taking a work call right now. I am. I don't know. Oh, my dogs are either barking at other dogs or they're barking at squirrels. I wonder what the hell is even happening right now. So that's the fun part about having adult jobs. When they call with the paycheck, you got to get to it. But yeah, the tans are coming. I'm actually going to a tanning bed every day just so I could just get nice and going. And I'm sorry for my little bit of a cough, people. I'm getting over a cold right now, but luckily it's not Zerona. I've taken two tests, two at-home tests. It's fine, and then I have to get tested tomorrow. I don't know. I can't hear them. Yeah, it's off and on, but yeah. Anyways, I'm getting over a cold. I just had two Rona. I took two Rona tests, and then I don't know if somebody came to visit here or something. I don't know, but yeah, took two Rona tests. I'm negative. It hit the whole house, but the kids avoided it, so that's good. Um, or maybe they didn't avoid it, but their immune systems are like way better because the virus just has to travel a shorter distance. That's what I'm thinking it is. Plus, they're young, healthy, have not made 34 years of bad life choices. So look how thick he is in the blue. Hey, leave Steve alone. No body. There's no body shaming here. Okay, stop body shaming us. What is this? What is this? Planet Fitness? Huh? If I wanted to be body shamed, I'd go there. Oh my god.
What's wrong with Planet Fitness?
There's nothing wrong with Planet Fitness, but here's what Seductive Steel had said. Man, look how thick he is in blue, right?
Blue's my color.
But you, hey, oh, and he said no, thick is good, right? But what I'm saying is, I'm like, whoa, 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 no body shaming here, because I was like, what is this, Planet Fitness? Because Planet Fitness, if you get like too shredded, don't they kick you out?
I don't think so.
That's what I was hearing. I was hearing maybe it's because this is California and they have all kinds of weird rules and stupidity. But what I heard was okay, at Planet Fitness, if you slam the weights, do they have an alarm that goes off?
Yeah, they call it the lunk alarm, I think.
Mm.
But I really don't see people doing that at Planet. Typically, like the hardcore bodybuilders that are lifting like Superman weight that need to like release it, they don't hang out at Planet Fitness.
Hey,
They go to like Iron Beast and all that nonsense.
no, I completely understand what you're saying there. I'm just saying like um, it's just funny how it's like no body shaming people. Okay, you're in well actually you're in way too good a shape. No. You can't you can't be here. You're gone. Sorry, but it's a gym. I thought the whole point was to get into shape. But I don't know, man. Planet Fitness, you pay like what? How does Planet Fitness even make their money? Like if you look at
They they make it on bulk and they make it on people not canceling their memberships.
got it, so you target people who you know are going to show up for 2 weeks and leave, and since it's such a small charge on their credit card, they don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's like 20 with tax. It's like $24 for the black card, which means you get like use of any Planet Fitness in the country. You get like tanning. You get to bring a guest. So you're talking like $24, right? And then I believe, and I firmly believe this, that there are people that get some sort of I wouldn't say satisfaction, but a belief that they're doing something by keeping their membership active, even though they're not actively using it. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro, I'm a fitness coach. I know 100% what you mean because I have people like active clients of mine who will get new programs and then anytime I check up on them, they're like, "Oh, well, my car broke down. Oh, I had COVID." Well, why would you hire me if you had COVID? And you didn't bring up you had COVID before. And then they
Well,
just create a new excuse, but it's a new thing every week, right? But then they're like, "Hey, where's my plan?" I'm like, "Have you been doing the workouts?" "No, but keep sending them to me." I'm like, "Okay."
and that's exactly it, man. So it's like whether it's hiring a nutritionist or hiring a coach or having a gym membership, like those are all means to get to the end, but the part that's always missing is work and consistency and then diet, right? So it's like, oh well, I hired a fitness coach. I don't know why I'm not getting thinner. Well, because you're eating like shit and you're not really doing the workouts. Like you go to the gym, like dude, I remember being at the gym one time watching this guy on the bicep curl machine sitting there reading the freaking newspaper.
Oh, dude, there is somebody at the gym that I go to. They go into the Smith machine corner. Uh,
Oh,
they
that
will
drives me
set
up
the
the
Smith
wall.
machine up, but it's like to where the bench is in front of the Smith machine so no one can read it. And they're on their knees using the bench as a table so that they can read their book. Now, I'm all for people reading more. I think that's great. But unfortunately, I want to use the fucking Smith machine right now, especially now because
Dude,
I'm like last 2 weeks. But yeah,
dude, I feel guilty taking a minute break in between sets. because I feel like people are waiting to get on the damn machine. It freaking kills me. And then there's people that sit there, they're on their phone, they're doing, and I'm just like, dude, like you can go sit over in the corner and get the same workout because you ain't doing shit.
Well, dude, certain gyms will actually have a lounge area,
Yeah, Planet
and
Fitness is one of them.
they've got a lounge chair, you got a TV, you can watch whatever you want, you can read your little book, no one will bother you.
They've got like smoothie bars and all this other
They
nonsense.
have a
Yeah,
smoothie bar, all that. But what they have to do, and actually, Seductive Steel makes a great point. That's normally when I go to work out. But when I go in the afternoon, it's like a whole different crowd, whole different vibe.
I can't go during those times, man. I go like I typically I'll get to the gym around 8:30. And
That's a good time.
I'm not leaving until like 10:30, 11 o'clock, because it's like I can't stand the place being crowded. Not because I don't like being around people. I hate waiting on things. Like, I hate
Yeah.
it.
Well,
And I
that's
want
what.
to keep my heart rate up, and I want to be able to go from machine to machine, or the Smith machine or whatever I'm benching, and then go right to do whatever cardio I'm doing, hit abs. And it's like, if there's people waiting to use a Smith machine, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, what am I going to do?
Well, yeah, that's why I've loved having the home gym set up for
Mhm.
the past like 6 months. I think I've had the whole prep with the home gym. It's great. I've got a squat rack, I got dumbbells, I got a leg extension, leg curl machine.
You got a
Um,
nice setup.
yeah, the only reason I'm going back to the gym is I want to play it safe for these last 3 weeks. That's even why with your plan I've moved you to more machine training, like all the barbell compound movements are essentially on the Smith machine now. And I do that because I'm like, I don't want you to get fucking injured right now. We're
Hmm.
both in a very deep deficit, and we need to maintain the muscle mass that we have with while avoiding injury. So it makes more sense to just go hit the machines where it's nice, it's stable.
It's the Yep.
It's not the same as a bench press or a squat, but with 2 weeks left, I'm sorry, your legs aren't getting any fucking bigger. Your chest isn't going to get any fucking bigger in this
Hmm.
time. It's all about maintenance. Best way to maintain is with machines, in my opinion. When you want to put on weight, free weights, that's the way it is because you're hitting more muscle fibers, more your
Hmm.
stabilizer muscles are
Sure,
being
sure.
added up together. But yeah, my thing is there's just some people who lack self-awareness in that sense, but to your point, I write workouts for people, and I'm like, okay, first, what you're gonna do is you're gonna work out. Here's what you're doing on day one, day two. You've seen my plans, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, how'd the workout go? Well, I kind of just did my own thing today. I rode the elliptical for about 25, 30 minutes. Okay, cool. Did you follow the macros? No, but I ate mostly clean. Um,
Mostly clean.
Mostly clean. Yeah, I'm like, well, see, here's the thing. I could eat, let's say, 1,200 calories for my first 5 meals, right? But if meal six, I decide to go eat a fucking double quarter pounder from McDonald's,
And
large
some
fry,
chili cheese fries and
and suck it down with a fucking sugary Coke, not a Diet Coke, an actual Coke.
nah, go for the
Uh,
milkshake, brother. Go for it.
for the most part, I did good until the part where I fucked everything up royally, which was meal six. So,
I always tell people, because it's like, the other day somebody brought donuts into the office, right? So it's like, ah, shit. And for a split second there, I'm like, could I have a donut? I didn't. Hang on. So then I love my Fitness Pal, because then I can look at the nutritional information of all this bullshit, right? So I pull up one donut and I was like, holy shit, I cannot have a donut.
well, here's what I've been doing for my clients lately. Um, because I can't legally give, because I'm not a registered dietitian, I can't give meal plans, which is why I do the macros.
Hmm.
But a loophole is I can do meal options, where I'm like, hey, here's some options that you could eat that'll keep you within the macros. My clients are absolutely like loving this right now.
Hmm.
So I have found recipes for low carb, high protein donuts of all things.
Oh God.
So there are baked goods because you know what I try to do is I try to trick myself into thinking that I'm not in a deficit. And yes, Sarah, there are high protein, low carb, low calorie donut options. It's
Sure.
like a hunt for like 120 calories, but it's got like 18 to 20 grams of protein for the donut, which is a whole hell of a lot better than like the sugary shit you're gonna get at Dunkin' Donuts
Oh,
that tastes delicious. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. Does Vegas have Dunkin' Donuts?
yes,
Can we get Dunkin' Donuts?
we can.
Okay, we're gonna get Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude, do you know? So I got to tell you a quick story. You just jogged my memory. So I was leaving the gym a couple nights ago, and I stopped in the gas station because I'm like, man, I need a water, and I just needed like a muscle milk or something just to freaking hold me over till I got home because I was starving. So I walk up to the counter, and the woman working the counter, she shows me this Hostess donut, right? And she's like, "Did you know that they made donuts with caffeine in them?" And I'm like, "What?" So she shows me this donut which has as much caffeine in it as a Red Bull. And I was like, the thing is the size of the palm of my hand, right? It's this tiny, little tiny donut. And it's like, the thing's got to be, it's made by Hostess. So you know the thing is probably like 500 calories,
Yep.
loaded with caffeine,
Yeah.
loaded with fat. And I'm just, probably 60 carbs.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Dude, you know what's ridiculous is like Dunkin' Donuts got into the protein game. So what's happening now is a lot of these protein companies, these protein manufacturers, they're getting deals with like Dunkin' Donuts, Fruity Pebbles, Hostess of all these things, and they're like, "Hey, here's a protein shake that's flavored like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles." Spoiler alert, it's not. But they have the brand behind them. So Dunkin' Donuts came out with a protein powder, and each
Oh my
scoop
God.
of protein, well, I think it was Dynamize had a partnership with them. Each scoop is either 120 to 150 milligrams of caffeine.
Eesh.
And I'm just like, okay, I eat for right now for prep. I have two shakes a day with two scoops in each shake. So by that
Mhm.
math, I'd be 600 milligrams of fucking caffeine
Your
right
heart
there,
would be
bro.
exploding, brother.
Dude, I would my heart would be exploding, or I would be on the toilet 24/7 because my nervous system would be like, just get this out of my body right now. Um,
With the shakes the whole time.
with the whole shakes the whole time. One of those freaking am I gonna die dumps, you know? So yeah, that there's so many good recipes out there. Like they have anabolic pizza. I make that. I tell
Yeah.
my clients about that.
Oh,
I
dude, you
make.
didn't share me. You didn't share with me the anabolic pizza recipe. What?
Well, I got to share
What's
with you the
good?
meal suggestions because you've been good on your own.
Uh,
Um, I've got, dude, I got French toast.
dude,
I
that
got
you
pancakes.
did tell me the French toast one, and that shit's banging. I'm telling you, I love that freaking French toast,
Oh,
man.
dude, you
It's better
take
than regular French toast.
exactly. Oh, bro, try the pancake one. So you mix like four slices of that keto bread, a whole carton of egg whites. So you're
Oh
looking at 50
yeah.
grams of protein right there.
Hell yeah,
But
baby.
you use some of your carbs. And you take like 1 cup of blueberries, you throw it in there, so the blueberries are now infused into the bread
Mm.
itself. Oh my god, dude, it is banging. It's so good.
You gotta send me these recipes, man.
Oh, dude, I will. I'm sending them with like all my clients right now. So it's good. Yeah. So anabolic French toast, anabolic pizza. My burgers are good. You know, it's all like high protein, low
Yep.
carb, moderate fat, because I think that's the best way to go
That's
for
why I've
putting
been
on
loving.
muscle and losing weight. So,
That's why I've been loving the ground turkey, man, because it's like no carbs, no fat, high protein.
oh yeah, dude.
Sign
Especially if
me
you
up, baby.
did you get the 93% lean or the 99% lean?
99. And then what I did was is I took some of that low carb barbecue sauce
Ooh, that stuff's good.
and mixed it in with it along with some smokehouse seasoning.
Oh god, that's so good. Dude, here's what people do not understand. You might see like a low calorie sauce that's like $8, $9, $10 a bottle, and you're like, no. When you're prepping for a bodybuilding show, that shit becomes a delicacy.
Mm-hmm.
The sauce you put on your food is almost more meaningful than the actual food itself because it's a good way to mind fuck yourself into believing like, hey, look at me, I'm eating like a normal human. Look.
Yeah. I got some barbecue sauce. Oh my god.
And that's why I go into these recipes with people because you lose a lot of weight. It feels like you're eating the same, and then as you go into a surplus, okay, instead of switching for that low cal bread, you use like the mid or high calorie bread based on
Well,
like what your caloric intake needs are and that kind of thing.
and the bottom line is that as opposed to a few years ago, if you bought something that was low carb or low cal, it tasted like cardboard. Nowadays, there's some stuff that is low cal, low carb that tastes better than
Oh,
some of that than some of the regular stuff, in my opinion.
oh, I completely agree, dude. Yo Mama marinara sauce is what I tell people to put on the pizza, on the anabolic pizza. That stuff tastes better than a lot of the spaghetti sauces that I've
Yeah.
had out there, and I'm talking about the high calorie ones. And there's a syrup for pancakes. Have you tried Walden's Farms yet?
No, I use carries.
Okay, so it is 0 calories. Okay, zero, like zilch
Zero.
calories. Yeah, and it tastes like actual maple syrup. Now it's expensive, but it's fucking worth it, especially if you're like at where we're at. So for
I gotta
those of you
try
who are
this.
Well, for those of you who are just jumping in, it was funny. I went through the drive-through just to get a Diet Coke earlier, and they're like, "Are you sure that's all you want is a Diet Coke?" I'm like, "If I could, I'd eat your whole freaking menu, but I can't right now. So
Two
please just give me
weeks.
the Diet Coke and do not tempt me."
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, we're gonna be in Vegas
Well, 2 weeks
in.
and 2 days.
Well, we're 2 weeks away from both being in Vegas at the same time.
Yep.
And
When do you get
then
in anyway? You get in Thursday?
brother, I'm
I'm in
driving,
Wednesday, man.
so I
I'm
can
in
get in
Wednesday.
whenever I want, dude.
I'm in Wednesday. Just
You,
saying.
I'm thinking. excuse me, excuse me,
The
folks. I have a
palatial
cough.
the palatial estate will be open effective Wednesday.
Wednesday. So what I might do is I might leave really late on Wednesday night. That way I avoid all the traffic to get there, and then Thursday I'll just do some of my work meetings early in the morning because you're doing your tan on Thursday, right?
Friday.
We're doing our
We're
tans on
both doing
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Then we gotta go do our polygraph tests because drugs are bad. Okay, you shouldn't do drugs because drugs are bad. Okay. Um, and then we're on stage on Saturday. Win, lose or
Mm-hmm.
draw, we're eating some pizza, donuts, beer.
Drinking some beer.
Oh, some beer.
You just
Some.
wait. You just wait. Saturday night, man. It's where it's at. Party
So,
time.
absolutely party time
Couple
Saturday.
tricks up the old sleeve.
All right, we playing blackjack again because I want to play some blackjack.
Oh yeah. I mean, you remember what happened the last time we played blackjack after a show?
Oh, dude, we had a great time. We
I
had
had a
we had a,
I had a great time at the bar
Oh yeah, you hit the royal flush right at the video poker machine.
at
Yeah,
the
so
Golden Nugget.
yeah, Steve always hits something. It's either a royal flush, he'll kill it at the blackjack table. There's a reason why this guy is Mr. Vegas, and I just play it safe. I just play life safe.
We'll be playing some blackjack. Plus, we're gonna have sister with us. We're gonna have little brother with us.
Yes, we
We're
are.
gonna have we're gonna have very special guests in the estate. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun.
We are gonna have some fun. We'll have to introduce those folks onto the channel, which will be
It
great.
it's gonna be a tale of two Vegases. There's the first half of Vegas when we're still like super strict and carb depleted and getting ready, and then there's gonna
Yes.
be second half of Vegas, which is gonna be like the Hangover Part 4.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I basically like Bradley Cooper before they went to Vegas on the first trip. It's like, yeah, you don't know me for the next 72 hours. When he says as a kid, it's like it's the weekend. You don't know me. uh, but anyways, we have to cover our Royal Rumble predictions. You are
It's
using that
time,
Winged
man.
Eagle title. Um, I have my ideas, and that's only when I start from the end, and then we work our way back. Is kind of
Well,
where.
so how do you want to do it? You want to start with the matches and then go to the rumbles?
Yeah, let's start with the matches, and then we will go to the Rumble.
Well, and as part of what I normally like to do here, I do have the latest Vegas odds.
Dude, okay, I just posted a tweet earlier today and nobody answered me. What are the Vegas odds of Johnny Knoxville winning the Royal Rumble? Because I
I'll
will
tell you
go and I'll
right
put
now.
$10 on it. I'll go put $10 on it.
I'll tell you right now. It
All right.
is Johnny Knoxville to win the Royal Rumble, huh?
Plus 1 million.
He's not even listed.
Okay, because I think everybody knows, like, it's nothing new, so I haven't been one of the people who have
Dude,
been shitting on him. What's up?
there's a couple on here that I would put some money on.
Okay, what are the two great moments in gambling that you would put the money on?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. There's three people that are listed here, which I don't think are gonna win.
Yeah,
But
if
for
they did,
so
for
you got Randy Orton at plus 2,500.
plus 2,500. Oh, is that because they're thinking they want to keep him paired with Riddle? So what's the they wouldn't?
I think it's because they anticipate a WrestleMania match between Orton and Riddle. So Orton winning the Rumble wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But we've talked in the past, like, hey, if you needed an opponent in a pinch, Orton could do it.
Yes, he could.
Sheamus is plus 4,000
But he's a former champion like that.
and a former winner of the Rumble.
And you and I, those are the two guys you and I have always discussed as guys who, if you're in a pinch, as you just said, who could just come in and work anybody, especially at the main event level. Dude, I would drop $10 on both those guys and see what happened.
And then the other one, who I don't think is going to win, but I actually have him in my final four, is Austin Theory at plus 2,500.
Okay, that one, I think if he can keep the heat up for another year, that's something I could see.
Yeah,
So
he's clearly being pushed. So we'll talk about it when we get to the Rumble match.
yeah,
I have him in my final four
all
because
right,
I think they'll give him that visibility, but in no way do I think Austin Theory's winning the Rumble.
all right. So
No.
let's go through the matches first. Then we'll
All
do the
right.
female. Then we'll do the female rumble, the male rumble, and then we'll.
So here we go. So the dark match, the pre-show match, as it were, for the Raw Tag Team Championship, the rematch with Alpha Academy defending against RK Bro.
Okay, so what you have to look at is you have to look at the end. So the end game is ultimately WrestleMania, right? Alpha Academy is clearly the heel. So if you wanted Orton versus Riddle so that Riddle can take off because he's become massively popular and he can start his singles career, makes sense for them to lose. If you want them to have something to chase, so you let Alpha Academy win dirty, then you could have them continuously fight to get back on top. You have a feel good moment at WrestleMania. So I'm leaning towards Alpha Academy dirty here for either one of those things.
Yeah, I got Alpha Academy as well. I mean, we talked about this at day one when they were taking on the Street Profits.
Yeah,
Uh, so they finally got the tag titles off of RK Bro. They're not going to throw them back onto them at this point. Otherwise, why did you have them end their run when they're clearly very over by dropping it to Alpha Academy? And it drives me up the wall about how they book tag team wrestling because Alpha
yeah,
Academy loses to everyone. Now all of a sudden they're the tag team champions.
yeah.
It
So either theory works, right? Because my theory is RK Bro ain't going nowhere.
mhm.
Um, but with the baby face, it's all about the chase, right? So if you just keep having them win, it gets stale. But now that they lost the belts, they're trying to win them back. I think they lose at the Rumble. There's some funny business that happens between now and Mania, and then they'll win the belts back in Mania. So I'm going Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to end up being Orton versus Riddle at WrestleMania, but if they keep them together, which they could, the time for them to regain the titles is not going to be here. So I also have Alpha Academy retaining the Raw Tag Team Championship here. So we're both on the same page with
Yeah,
that.
and then you also have to look traditional WWE storytelling that's been going down since you and I were kids. 11 months out of the year, it's like playing keep away with us fans. Sometimes we get the cheese. Most of the time we don't. I think this is going to be a Vince McMahon fuck you, followed by another Vince McMahon fuck you, followed by hey Mania, we're going to give you 80% of what you want because it's the biggest show of the year.
All right. So now we move on to the main card, and I'm going to start with the easier of the matches. So for the Raw Women's Championship, we have Becky Lynch defending against Dewdrop.
Oh God, I wonder what we're gonna do. Becky Lynch,
Yeah, that's my lock of the night here. So there's no way.
lock of the
Right,
night. Yeah, they're not gonna. No way in hell. No way in hell. Becky wouldn't lose that belt to anybody right now, let alone
not this
that
close to
opponent.
WrestleMania. Right now, Becky Lynch is minus 1,200.
So for every, so you have to bet. What does that mean for the people at
You would
home?
have to bet $1,200 to win $100.
Yeah, I'm out. Pass. What's that blackjack thing they do? I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, so we're on the same page with that. Next, we have the mixed tag team match. So this gets a little interesting. So we have the mixed tag team match with
Hmm.
Edge and the returning Beth Phoenix taking on the Miz and Maurice. Which, real quick, I could not believe on the go home show for the Royal Rumble on Raw that they closed with the Miz and Maurice and Edge and Beth Phoenix segment. That blew my mind.
Yeah. To your point. Let's see. Edge really doesn't have many opponents in the wake. Miz doesn't. I have a feeling this one is gonna go. I have Miz actually winning this one against Edge, surprisingly, because there's another opponent. I think his wife takes the pin.
So this is crazy. So that's almost the argument I made for their day one match. Now I'm going to go the opposite, which is the opposite of you. If they didn't have the Miz beat Edge at day one, why would they have him and Maurice beat Edge and Beth Phoenix here when this is Beth Phoenix's come out of retirement match? I mean, are they really intending on carrying this feud through to WrestleMania? And if they do, what what WrestleMania match are they having? Like in my mind, this should end here. I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth Phoenix for the win. So we're diverging here. Right now, the odds: Edge and Beth Phoenix are minus 500, so they are favored. They have an implied probability of 83%.
Still, though, I'm just looking at it. It's
I'm
like,
probably
well,
wrong, but
no. So what I'm saying is, okay, if they wanted to end this feud definitively, it would just be Edge and Miz again, and then Edge just kicks his ass one more time. But I'm thinking they're setting it up this way so that there's an easy out, so Edge doesn't have to take the pin. Miz can get his hand raised. Oh, look, we got something. Because there's going to be one more pay per view between Rumble and Mania, right?
Elimination Chamber
So then you got Elimination Chamber.
from
So,
Riyadh.
so my opinion, because I don't see anything for Edge to do on the horizon, they're going to keep it alive until Mania, just because there's not a lot
All
going
right.
on.
Well, that's why we do these predictions, man. We can't be the same all the time. So this
Well,
is our
yeah.
first
I
our
mean,
first
bro,
divergence.
and you know what's led me here? We just saw AJ Styles and Omos versus Riddle and Randy Orton every freaking week, a combination
Hmm.
for 3 to 4 months. I think they can keep this going for two more pay-per-views.
So now we're at the point. Do you want to cover the world title matches or do you want to go to the Rumbles?
Let's go to the world title matches because that's going to determine a lot as to
It
what happens.
my Rumble predictions are heavily influenced by my predictions for the world title matches. So let's start with the Universal Championship with the now longest reigning. They're acknowledging it on TV. Longest reigning Universal Champion of all time, Roman Reigns taking on Seth freaking Rollins.
You know what? I am gonna go Reigns on this one. With
Okay.
us being so close to Mania, I do think one of the belts is going to change hands. It's not going to be the Universal Championship though. I have Reigns winning.
Yeah, so we're on the same page here because I think we're thinking the same thing, but it'll be interesting to see how far out our thinking goes where it's still aligned. So I have Roman Reigns retaining. Roman Reigns is currently minus 240. So it's not an overwhelming favorite like, Becky Lynch, but he is favored. It Can you really end this long title run at the Royal Rumble to Seth Rollins? Like, I just
Nah.
it doesn't feel right. So we're on the same page here. And then that takes us to the WWE Championship match with Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman defending in his first title defense against Bobby Lashley, the Almighty.
All right, I have Lashley winning dirty.
Ooh, we are again on the same page here. So I
Lashley's
also,
winning dirty.
so this is where it's hard for me to fathom this, that drop they're gonna have Lesnar take the title off and then immediately drop it to Lashley in his first title defense. Reigns typically has long title reigns. I think that I think this was just a means to an end. I think that they saw an opening with Reigns getting COVID to further the screw job storyline that's playing into my advanced thinking of what's about to happen. I think he loses dirty. I think Reigns interferes. I don't think it's going to be Heyman. I think it's going to be Reigns, and that plays into something else that I think is going to happen. I think Reigns costs Lesnar the championship. I think we have a new WWE champion in Bobby Lashley. So we both have Lashley winning. Currently, Lashley is the underdog at plus 160.
So here's the thing. My opinion is ultimately Reigns and Lesnar, they left that open ended for a reason. You can't do champion versus champion because the winner of the Rumble fights one of the champions unless they're stupid and go, oh well, let's, unless they pull, not calling Sami Zayn stupid, I'm saying that the storyline there was stupid
Mm-hmm.
of where it's like, well, hey, why wait till Mania? I'll give you a shot at Elimination Chamber, something like that.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, I don't see that either. So that's why I think Lesnar drops to Lashley, Reigns retains, and then we move on to the Rumble.
So let's do
Which,
the men's rumble
you don't
first.
want to do the women's Rumble.
Let's do the men's rumble.
You don't want to get the women's Rumble out of the way.
All right, let's do the women's rumble then. Women's Royal Rumble. So here's what I'm thinking. Who are your top 3 to win, and who would ultimately be your pick? So we'll give credit if it's one of your top 3, but I'd be interested of which of your top 3 is your absolute top pick.
My top three. Let me look into the competitors. I haven't really thought of the women's Rumble yet, but I think it's going to be the usual suspects. Let's see. Who is the Alexa Bliss is obviously going to be in the mix somewhere.
Yeah, I think she's coming back, and she would also be one of my top 3. But continue.
Flair, if Charlotte Flair is coming back and is going to be in there,
She's in it, and she's also the SmackDown Women's Champion,
and she's also in the Rumble.
as far as I
Oh,
know.
is that
Yeah.
the line where she's like, "I'm going to come in and win, so I don't have to fight" or something?
I just know she's in the Rumble.
Okay, so Flair's in it, but she's the champ. But she's top three. Yeah. And then oh wait, a few of the people I was gonna name have gotten cut from the company. Oh, Asuka might be making her return at the Rumble.
Okay.
So if Asuka comes back, there's your three: Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair. Oh wait, Rhea Ripley. Ripley's probably gonna be in there.
Yeah, she's in there.
Okay, actually, refrain. She just broke it off with Nikki Ash, who went heel, which I don't know what that is, but okay. Usually, you would think that Rhea Ripley, being the person who looks like she could portray a heel, would be the heel, but I digress. All right, so I would go Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and then and Asuka, assuming she comes back and makes her
And
triumphant return. Those
and
those
of
three.
those three, which one would you lean towards to actually win it?
Rhea Ripley, because they gave her that massive push. They kept her warm. I'd say Ripley.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting conversation.
All right, let's
So
see.
I agree on Alexa Bliss. I think she's returning. She would be my dark horse to win.
Hmm.
Bianca Belair for a second year in a row. But my pick to win has not yet been announced because I think it's going to be a surprise. And who I foresee winning the Women's Royal Rumble will be a returning Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah, they approached her and coming back.
Think of that. They need it. WrestleMania is a 2 night event, so they need a main event for both shows.
You know what? I forgot
Getting
about
us
Ronda.
getting us the one-on-one Becky versus Ronda match, and they've been pushing hard for Ronda to come back. It's not confirmed, but she would be my pick.
If
So I got
Ronda, if okay, here's what I would say. If Ronda is an entrant, she will win. So that would mean my top three. Because I love Bianca Belair, but they've kind of just messed with her so much this year. Like I don't. She'll definitely be in the top five. She will not be
she'll be a
treated
Final
like a.
Four. Yep.
She won't be treated like a scrub in there. But if I'm looking at, okay, if you want like the new thing, Rhea Ripley, because now you got to push. If you want the marquee match, Ronda Rousey comes back, easy fucking money. Ronda versus Becky Lynch. There you go. And then Alexa Bliss, she sells merch, man. I mean, she sells merch and people love her. So
Yeah, and that's why I got Bliss in there as kind of my dark horse.
yeah,
If for some reason they couldn't convince Ronda to come back for the Rumble, and you didn't want to go back to Belair, who's been in the title picture, you can get
yeah,
away, I think, with an Alexa Bliss.
you can, yeah, or a Rhea Ripley because Rhea. But does Rhea? Do you waste that push on Rhea because I don't see Becky losing. That's the
I
problem.
think I think they've damaged Rhea with her feud with Nikki.
Yeah,
So I don't even see Rhea. I could make an argument for Rhea to be one of the final four, but I don't see her winning it
that's a
right
shame
now.
because she's so goddamn good.
She is. I like Rhea Ripley, but they've done some damage to her, in my opinion.
They do a lot of damage to a lot of their talent, but I
Shayna Baszler.
digress.
Shayna
Dude,
Baszler. Who have they screwed over worse than Shayna Baszler?
dude, she's like the probably she's legitimately an MMA pioneer, and they fucked that right up. You're correct.
So right now, the Vegas odds have the favorite being Bianca Belair at plus 300. Uh, Bailey is in second place here at plus 550. Alexa Bliss at plus 600, followed by Rhea Ripley at plus 800. They have Paige in there. There's rumors that Paige will be back.
So if they're bringing back like Mickey James, who's on Impact right now, it would not shock me in the slightest if they bring a lot of women back. Which begs the question: don't you have enough? You mean to tell me they don't have 30 women like on the roster
No,
who they could even?
they've had to bring back Kelly and Lita and like no, they don't.
Do, you mean to tell me between NXT, developmental, like they don't have 30 women, even if 20 of them are in development that they could put into the Rumble?
Apparently not.
That's fucked up. All right.
Ronda Rousey plus 1400. Shayna Baszler plus 2200. You know what I would do if I really wanted to screw around with some money? Mickey James is listed at plus 6,600.
So that means every $100 you put in, you could win 6,600 back, right?
Yeah, right. Could they do something? Like, I know that they'd never do this, but Impact Knockouts champion versus, SmackDown Women's champion at WrestleMania. Like,
Or
is
would
it?
you sell it as it's like I was kicked out of the company, and then you have like I'm seeing the video
Dude,
play in my head right now. You have like the trash bag of her clothes just being sent
yeah.
to her.
I
I gave everything, and they threw me in the trash, like that kind of thing.
I wouldn't drop a Benji on it, but I'd drop $10 on it to win 660.
Let's drop 10 on that. Here's what I think we should do. You and I should both. I'm gonna go to the ATM before I get to Vegas. I'm gonna pull out $100, and it's just gonna be the wacky bet fund, and
All right.
we're just gonna drop a little bit of money, and if one of them pops, it's like when you invest in altcoins, right? It's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
maybe one of them's the
Which
next
one's gonna hit?
Shinobi. One of them might hit. You never know. If I can
So
spend, go ahead.
no, so being that this is the Rumble, right? So we've picked winners, we've picked top three who we think. So who is going to be the Iron Woman? Who's going to last the longest?
It depends on who's out there. So I would say Shayna because she's a great worker. Because here's the thing: the Royal Rumble, it's not your standard wrestling match. It's a lot of brawling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fighting, a lot of brawling, a lot of fisticuffs. I would say Shayna because that style is in her wheelhouse for the most part. 'Cause that's who she is. Shayna would probably be the Iron Woman. Um, does Rhea does not have another match that night, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I would say Rhea and Shayna would probably be my bet. Like I
Okay.
don't think any of the like marquee girls, like the tippy top girls, they're not going to want to be out there for like 40, 50 minutes.
See, I disagree with that. I think Charlotte Flair would, and Charlotte Flair would be my pick to be the Iron Woman here. I think I could
Oh,
see
that's
her
right
coming in.
because her dad did that.
I could see
Yeah.
her coming in at 3, right? Or 4 or something like that and being one of the final 4. I think if I think about what my final 4 would be, assuming that Ronda's out there, I think Ronda, Charlotte, Bianca Belair, and then give me a heel. Give me I wouldn't want to see Alexa Bliss if they were bringing back Rousey. So give me like Liv Morgan. How about that? I know she's
Yeah.
not a heel, but give me Liv Morgan.
Okay.
And then last question, and then we can move on to the men's rumble. Who's going to have the most eliminations?
There's who's the Haas because Nia Jax is out of the company now.
Probably Tamina.
Tamina, because you got Tamina, who I think's badass.
But remember, the record holders for a single rumble for eliminations is actually tied. It's Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair.
That's tough.
I don't think
Because
Shayna is
normally,
positioned that way anymore, but I could see them giving Bianca if Bianca's not going to win, I can see them having her,
get her
either,
kill count up so they can
yeah,
do something with her
I could see
potentially the
that.
next year. Yeah, my idea would be you'd give it to the Haas because
Hmm.
traditionally the big dude always just comes in 1-2 takes out like two or three
It,
peeps. But
yeah.
also, if you go to the Iron Man, whoever's going to have the most time in the Rumble is going to have the most eliminations because those kinds of matches aren't 100% planned, which is why they're so good because they're just
Hmm.
working out there. So a lot of that stuff is determined in the ring. So I would say whoever the Iron Woman is going to be, that's probably going to be the person who's got the best chance of getting the most eliminations. Unless you just want Ronda to come out and they say, hey, when Ronda comes out, if you're not this person, that person, or that person, if she touches you, get the fuck out of the ring, then
I,
yeah.
and I thought that too, but I think much like Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, if Ronda is here and she is back for the Rumble, she's clearly coming out at 30. She's not coming out at 29 or 28. She's coming out at freaking 30, and she'll eliminate, the handful of people that she needs to eliminate. But I think the carrot, in my opinion, I think the carrot will end up going to Bianca Belair just to give her something if she's not going to be the Rumble winner this year. So that,
Yeah, because they did her dirty this year.
yeah.
She
So
had a lot of heat and they fucked it all up with her. But
We were
Beck,
there.
we were there. we we were pissed. We were walking back. A lot of people were pissed, and most of them were like, "Hey, I got no problem with her losing. Just like give her an actual match."
They
But
could
is
have
your
taken some
opinion?
of the Johnny Drip Drip segment that occurred before the main event and give it to Bianca Belair to at least not get humiliated by
Well,
Becky Lynch.
Johnny's not in the company anymore. John
Yeah, I know,
Morrison's
but
not in the company. Eva
he was at
Marie is not in the.
SummerSlam.
He was. No, that's what I meant. I'm like, if you were just gonna cut this dude, why would you give them all that airtime that could have went elsewhere? But I digress.
So with that, is there anything else you'd like to add about the Women's Rumble before we get on to what is most likely going to be the main event?
You know what? What would I say? I like both Rumbles. My opinion on the matter is if you don't have 30 women within your company and you're not working an angle with Mickey James or some of the women that you're bringing back, why not make it a 15 or 20 woman battle royal or just do like your own thing? Make it its own like new unique thing. But I get it.
Well,
You want to
at,
have equality. You want to have both.
I,
Uh,
I was going to say at the risk of sounding snarky, which is really not my intent, then it wouldn't be equal.
of course, no, I get it.
And by the way, here's my last thought on the Women's Rumble, right? Because I just said something a minute ago that caused me some pause,
Hmm.
which is that the Men's Royal Rumble will clearly be the main event.
No,
If the Women's Rumble goes last, it's a lock that Ronda Rousey is there and winning.
I agree, 100%.
A absolute 100% freaking lock. Because
If you
that is
don't,
the only way that the Women's Rumble is going last.
even then, okay. Going into the men's Royal Rumble now, do you
Yeah.
see any potential surprise returns? Anything that could possibly go down, at least on your list right now?
In terms of just making an appearance,
I'm talking appearance or somebody who could go in and like just fucking just like an oh shit, I didn't think of that guy. And who could win. So somebody who could make an
well, my
impact and who could win.
my pick to win it has not been announced for it yet.
All right. Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble?
I think based on our predictions for the WWE Championship match, I believe that Roman Reigns will interfere and cost Brock Lesnar the WWE Championship, at which point Brock Lesnar will finagle his way into the Royal Rumble and win it to get his Universal Championship match at WrestleMania.
Here's what I think that is very much plausible and then it gives you an out, but what this Royal Rumble to me is lacking is a feel good moment. And every Royal Rumble has at least one feel good moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think Big E is the story there, at least at the title picture, because it's like, hey, I won it. I lost it in a five-way. Like, I didn't even get to lose it, clean. Because a lot of people are pissed off about that because they loved him as the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you kind of have a hero's journey back to the top of the mountain. And instead of winning it on Raw, we see him win it at WrestleMania. So I would
So,
actually go Big E because here's what I think happens to your line of thinking. I think he drops the title to Lashley. He calls next. He gets it against Reigns. We're back to where we started because that story is already calibrated there.
mhm.
Big E wins. He wants his belt back. His belt was not with Roman Reigns. His belt is on Lashley's shoulder right now. So then he goes after Lashley. I just feel like that's a natural progression because outside of Big E, who's the compelling championship story for Lashley right now?
well, there isn't, and
That's it.
that's the problem. So, I thought the exact same thing you did, right? And I was sitting there and I was sitting back, and there's a lot of people online that are predicting that a lot of what you're saying is that Big E is going to win the Royal Rumble and they're going to give him a proper build this time. Here's my problem with that story. That means that your WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, which I know will not be the main event, but it is the WWE Championship match, will be Lashley versus E, which is the exact match that they gave us on Raw for free twice, fairly recently. So they've, in my opinion, they haven't really done E very well to position him to win the Rumble. I mean, they had him lose the 5-way. They didn't have to have E get pinned. They had Lesnar pin E. Then E loses the match on Raw following that, right? And sure, I could see E winning it, but in my opinion, they've not really done him right to position him to win the Rumble. It, I agree with you in that Lesnar doesn't need to win the Rumble to get the match with Reigns because it's been an established story, and they could always have Lesnar win the Elimination Chamber or something like that. But there's no one else, in my opinion, other than him or E that could win it. And I just find it hard to believe that they're going to go to Lashley versus E for the world title straight up at WrestleMania. Now, with that said, I do have a prediction for the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, my opinion, I've got Lesnar winning it with E a potential second. You've got E winning it with who would be your potential second? Lesnar?
No, I don't think Lesnar even goes into the Rumble.
Ooh.
I don't think he.
Right.
I don't think he goes in there. I think. Let's see, because it depends on what they want to do with Orton. Sheamus, because Sheamus and Orton are those two guys who can wrestle anybody on any level and make
Mm-hmm.
it a really fucking good match at any goddamn time. Austin Theory's getting pushed, but he's too young. I don't think they're gonna do it just yet.
Theory's in my
Um,
final four.
but he is in the. I think they're gonna use this as an opportunity to get to show him
Yep.
show him scrap with some top talent. But I don't think
I
he's
think
winning.
I think he's almost a lock for the final four, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're doing stuff with Vince McMahon, like sketches with Vince McMahon,
Mm-hmm.
you're a lock to at least do something. Like you're gonna do something.
There's some
Um,
echoes of that Drew McIntyre chosen one nonsense from a bunch of years ago.
I don't think Drew's in that picture right now.
No,
Now look,
I mean from years and years ago, his first run when he was
mhm,
partnered with McMahon. I'm feeling echoes of that with the Austin Theory, except Vince is old and senile now.
yes. So
With all due respect,
with all due respect, of course. Yeah, number two. Here's the thing. I don't have a number two.
you think it's just E and no one else?
E and no one else. That's kind of
Wow.
my approach because here's the thing. All your guys. I mean, you could have Kevin Owens. You could have like. Well, here's the thing. Look at all the guys who are in that orbit, right? Rollins is working Reigns. Lashley is working
Lesnar.
Lesnar that night. You got Kevin Owens. You got Sheamus, Orton. Those names. Edge is out of the picture. Miz is out of the picture. Um, so end of the day, you look at the list and I think Kevin Owens is gonna continue to get handsomely paid, but I don't think Vince McMahon has trust Kevin Owens to give him a main event at WrestleMania or a co-main event, I should say, at WrestleMania. So that's not gonna happen. McIntyre could do a thing, but I think they would save him for Elimination Chamber so
Well,
that
and
there's something there.
he's still hurt. There's no guarantee he's even going to be there.
Oh yeah, he's hurt, so he's injured. So I don't even think he's going to be competing. So
I could see him coming back for it, but I don't. Eh,
because who do you got on the secondary list? Like Rey Mysterio, they're not going to throw
no.
him a bone. Dominic could be where Austin Theory is now, but they messed that up, so that's not happening. Uh, Kofi Kingston, he just did a snuff film for Lashley. He's not back in the spot. So I feel like everybody else kind of has something to do. So that leaves you with Owens. That leaves
It,
you with Big E. And, Orton, if he's going to be doing something with Riddle, I don't think they're going to let that cash cow go anytime
mm-mm.
soon. So, yeah, man, for me, I think I'm only saying this because he signed that big contract recently. KO Kevin Owens. So Lashley and Kevin Owens. I think those are like the only two like quasi main event guys that you have left.
Yeah, I got KO as my dark horse, very distant. But for me, it's Lesnar and no one else. No one else has been positioned. So if we go to the odds right now, the favorite is Big E
Yep.
at plus 350, and a very close second at plus 375 is Brock Lesnar. And surprisingly enough, in third position at plus 800 is Roman Reigns. So there's a lot of people that believe that the scenario that we just talked about with Lesnar dropping the title due to Reigns, there's some people that are thinking it could be reversed where you have Reigns dropping the title. But in my mind, that just doesn't work.
No, you wouldn't. See, here's the thing: if Reigns is gonna lose it, he's gonna lose it at Mania.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose it when it makes the
And,
most possible sense.
and by the way, I don't think he should lose it to Reigns or to Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I don't think he will either, but I think if he were to lose it, that's where it would be.
So let's see here. Drew McIntyre is in fourth at plus 900. KO is at plus 1,000. That's really. So who's your Iron Man?
I would say Dominic. So,
Dominic.
so here's the thing. If you look at the superstars who had the most matches in 2021, he was top three or top four on that list. So he's proven he's a good worker. Because here's the thing: with the Iron Man, it's either the big name, or it's just going to be somebody who it's like, hey, you're a good worker. So Dom would be my dark horse there, but I do think he's going to get some ride time. Um, let's see. Who else is on that list? Because I doubt it's going to be Big E. It's not going to be Big E. It's not going to be a name. Um,
It, yeah, for me, the Iron Man is most likely going to be somebody like a Finn Balor.
yeah, I could see that. It's going to be lower upper card guy. Like
I
somebody.
was, yeah, I was thinking AJ Styles,
Hmm.
but I went away from AJ Styles. I'm going with Finn Balor as the Iron Man, and the reason why I'm not going with AJ Styles is because my prediction for most eliminations is Omos.
Yeah.
I mean that's what they
Ooh.
do with the Rumble.
Yeah,
Go back to
for the
Diesel,
Haas. Yeah, the Haas normally
Vader.
has the highest kill
Hmm
count. That's
They've
the way
done
it
it with
goes down.
Kane. They've done it with like that's what they do.
And that's why I thought that for the female Royal Rumble, because it's like, all right, well, who's the Haas? Because the Haas is going to come in, just fucking shitstorm people. Because it's like, once you get to 20, because I've been rewatching all the Royal Rumbles, once you get to the 20 mark, there's always the badass who comes in at 21,
Hmm
22. It almost like it clears the field, and then now it's like you got a completely new Royal Rumble right in front of you as the new stars trickle in. So,
I think we'll see Braun Breaker in the Rumble, the NXT champion.
okay.
That's what
I
I'm
like Braun
hearing.
Breaker. I like Braun Breaker a
I
lot,
think we'll
actually.
see Walter, now called Gunther apparently. I think we'll see him in the Rumble. It's
Sorry,
Walter.
I was flipping you off. I was just
No, I
flipping
know.
off the universe. Just
And then is there a possibility for whatever ungodly reason I keep thinking we're going to see Rob Van Dam in the Rumble? I
why?
have no idea why. I just got this Rob Van Dam like vibe in my head all of a sudden.
He's been popping up in my YouTube feed a lot lately. Like a lot
Mm,
of his shoots. So maybe because the Royal Rumble they always bring back like one or two legends, right? To give us something. I mean, fucking Honky Tonk Man. I think 97 or 98 got some ride time in that bitch. I think it's because he's like, I ain't going nowhere, baby. I'm gonna hang
well,
on to this corner like my fucking life depend on it.
Wayne Ferris, baby.
If your name ain't Stone Cold Steve Austin, you ain't eliminating me, baby.
So it sounds like in terms of our way too early WrestleMania predictions, it sounds like we're in agreement, and I think it's plainly obvious they're heading towards yet another Lesnar versus Roman Reigns showdown.
What's their record at WrestleMania against each
Lesnar
other?
has won every single time. I think it's three main events,
Okay, so
with the exception of the first one, which is the one where Seth Rollins cashed in at 31.
oh, got it. So he technically won, but then
But
Rollins
Reigns,
cashed in and beat it.
but Reigns took the pin.
Oh, got
And
it.
then the following year, Lesnar beat him, and then Lesnar beat him again at like 34, I want to say.
Yeah.
Um, so Lesnar has won every encounter, but Lesnar was the heel in those encounters, and Reigns was the John Cena-esque face that was getting booed the hell out of.
Hmm.
Um, I believe we're heading towards, if she's coming back, I believe we're heading towards Becky and Ronda, which would, then you got to make an argument about which one should close out night two. In my opinion, it would be Becky and Ronda,
Yeah.
especially considering how many times we've seen Reigns and Lesnar.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
thing. There's not really too much that gets like it's like, hey, it's their first time locking horns. I think like Khan there is essentially like, look, it's like, well, if we're making record profits quarter over quarter and we're giving them the same shit month after month, who needs creativity, right?
and then I think we're heading towards, believe it or not, even though I shit all over the idea of him winning the Rumble, I do think we're heading towards Big E in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I think it's going to end up being a three-way or a four-way, possibly involving like a KO or a Drew McIntyre or somebody like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
I would rather. I think you could be correct there. I would rather it just be one. Because here's the thing, man. I think other pay per views, cool. You want to do a triple threat at No Mercy or at Extreme Rules, fine. Even at SummerSlam, fine. But I always felt like world heavyweight championship should always be 1v1.
oh, I'm with you on that.
Mano y mano. Champ wins it clean or he loses it
I
clean.
I hate three ways because and four ways because in my mind it's because your booking is shit.
Well, I agree. Or it's because there's some backstage politics. It's like, yeah, I'll drop the belt, but I'm not taking the pin. So that's what I think happens. And
Mm,
three ways, there's always that one person who you know's not really going to win, and their whole purpose of being in there is just to be the mosquito.
yep.
It's their job to fuck up the finishes, break up the pins, get you from
Ooh.
like 10 minutes of match to like 20 minutes of match.
Lashley versus E versus Johnny Knoxville. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, if Knoxville what
So, oh, that's the
if
other
what if
that's the other rumor
what
that
if
we're
Big
gonna.
E what if Big E gets 1999 Vince McMahon style to where Knoxville just plays around, oh fuck, I don't want to be here, goes underneath the bottom rope. Knoxville just does commentary, hides, like, I'm not in this thing. And then it's like, Big E has won, Big E has won, drops the headset just as Big E's facing the ropes. He gets Vince McMahon out, or
Well, so that begs the question, right? And this is the one question that we haven't really touched on. What is the point of Johnny Knoxville being in the Royal Rumble if not to set up something at WrestleMania?
what was the point of Drew Carey being in the Royal Rumble that one year? What is
There
the point?
wasn't.
Exactly. I don't think there's a point to it. I think it's one of those things where he's
But
done stuff with the WWE before.
but it was
Um,
but this was different. Like he put out this press release and this video like I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble. Like it feels like they're setting something up.
maybe they're doing Jackass 5 or Jackass 4
Him
or
versus
something.
Steve O at WrestleMania or something like that.
Is Steve-O still alive?
I don't know.
Oh wait, yeah, he is alive. A few of the guys are not with us anymore, so
It's gonna be a shame that they go from like a major global superstar like Bad Bunny last year, who actually trained and like
he did
looked
really
good,
good, man. He was hitting
and
a
then
he hit a Canadian destroyer for Christ's
yep,
sake.
and then going from there to freaking jackass Johnny Knoxville, it's like there's a little bit of a drop off there.
Well, and here's the thing, like they're trying to attack a younger audience, Like we didn't have YouTube when we were growing up for a majority, right?
It was called
So
America's Funniest Home Videos.
America's Funniest Home Videos, correct. But then to get
Rest
the
in peace,
really
Bob
really
Saget.
stupid stuff, you had Jack. Rest in peace, Bob. Uh, you had you had Johnny Knoxville and the
Sure.
Jackass crew, right?
And Beavis and Butthead.
And Beavis and Butthead, those guys, right? But they tried bringing back Beavis and Butthead. It didn't get the ratings. People didn't care anymore. So for me, I'm like, this guy was white hot for the longest time. He
Sure.
was actually even doing mainstream movies, and he wasn't the worst actor I've ever seen. Now it's like it's fizzling out. Is he just trying to get back in the spotlight in one way or another? Because he ain't winning. He's gonna get his ass
No.
beat. He's probably
No.
like I think maybe there's a movie coming out and it's
Wait.
part of the promo. They were filming Jackass 4 or Jackass 5, correct?
I think it's called Jackass Forever or something like that.
Jackass Forever. I think
Dude,
he's gonna be there. They popped the Jackass Forever trailer.
dude, I got it.
What's up?
I got it.
All right, what is it?
Johnny Knoxville wins the Royal Rumble
Okay.
and challenges Bobby Lashley or Brock Lesnar, whoever comes out of that match, right? And because it's Knoxville and because it's Jackass, the WrestleMania match just becomes Lashley or Lesnar for 10 straight minutes just suplexing this guy on his head like repeatedly. Like to the point
Dude.
where it's like Lesnar John Cena at SummerSlam a couple years ago, like that kind of uncomfortable where it's just like suplex, 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 F5, suplex, just
Suplex
repeated.
City, bitch.
Yep.
Suplex City, bitch.
Like that would be entertaining, but that's not going to happen. But like hey, a guy can dream, can he?
I mean, Kofi Kingston signed himself up for a snuff film, and that guy's an actual fucking former world champion and had the credentials to not get snuff filmed. So,
But here's the thing, we say that because he was buried. He lasted 8 seconds. He didn't. He took a suplex and an F5. Like that was
no,
it.
I'm talking about what happened with him and Lashley this year.
Okay, that's a little bit different.
How
Yeah,
he signed himself
yep.
up to get.
Yeah, he
Uh,
got
they
that got a little
they
uncomfortable.
snuff filmed him.
That got a little uncomfortable too.
Yes, it did. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking there. I think it's like Drew Carey was in the Rumble to promote his Vegas show. He's just in there to promote Jackass Forever or a Jackass series, whatever one's happening. But why are we spending so much time talking about Johnny Knoxville?
I don't know. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Royal Rumble predictions and our way too early WrestleMania predictions. And with that, sir, I've got a question for you.
What is your
We've
question?
been talking about it back and forth on Messenger. Are we actually gonna get MJF versus CM Punk on free TV next week in
Uh,
Chicago? In Chicago,
yes, I do think so.
you think they're actually gonna have a full form like showdown match?
I think so. I mean, dude, this is the company that had Jericho versus MJF for free at the end of the fifth labor of Jericho. Right now, we both felt
I
our way
blocked
about
that
it. You
out.
can go back and hear how we felt about it, but that was a thing. Uh, Freaking Page versus Brian Danielson twice.
Twice.
Freaking Kenny Omega versus Brian Danielson. I think it's gonna happen, and it could very well be the first match of the night.
Wow.
And could you imagine if MJF beats Punk dirty in
Well, that,
Chicago? That place will fucking riot.
well, that's what I predict is going to happen. First of all, I'm not entirely convinced that the match will happen. I think that there may be some chicanery, but for the sake of argument, if they have this match, I think MJF has to beat him dirty.
He
Like you
does. He
want to
can't
talk
beat him
about
clean.
getting like nuclear heat, like the kind of heat that will never wash away. Being the first to pin Punk dirty in Chicago. Ooh,
Yes.
ooh.
Oh, hand Punk his first loss in Chicago, dirty. Oh, and if
And and I've predicted since the beginning of this that what they need to do is it needs to be a 3-match series and MJF needs to win the first one dirty.
He does, and then Punk needs to win at the pay per view clean, and then you leave it open ended, right?
Well, and or Punk wins dirty, right, in match two, and then that sets up the showdown at the pay per view, which, because they do quarterly pay per views, it's hard for them to stretch this out because it's already kind of getting a little repetitive. Um,
Yeah. So, what would you do if you're AEW to clean it up? Would you do more pay per views? So maybe not do it monthly, but go bi-monthly. So instead of four a year, give them six a year. That way you could have like quicker logical closure points.
I might be tempted to go to six. I think you can't go to monthly because of the existence of Peacock right now.
Hmm.
Like you're going from paying, what, $9.99 a month for all that content, not just the WWE network, but everything that you're getting with NBC Peacock,
Hmm.
to paying, what, $59.99 for the HD pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think 6 times a year is pushing it, but I think you could probably get away with it.
Well, when
I
you
think quarterly.
watch, to your point, yeah, it's like I can pay $10 and watch the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, or because what is AEW's like flagship pay per view now?
Well, geez, it would have to be what, Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing. Yeah, they don't have
I don't
their
think it's Full Gear,
WrestleMania yet.
or would it be
Cause
Revolution?
I don't
It's one of
know.
the two, whichever one of their
But
WrestleManias.
yeah, this. But what I will say about AEW, it looks like they're starting to run it like a little bit more legitimately these days.
I
So
like a
here's the
lot of
thing.
what they've been doing.
Oh, it's amazing. And the thing is, I think with Punk manning the helm and MJF having his input in this, it's been a really, really good feud. Now, yeah, have there been missteps? Absolutely. But there
Sure.
was missteps with Rock and Austin, which was a great feud. There was missteps everywhere. Every feud, every event's going to have some missteps. But they've kept pointing to the North Star. They've stayed
Hmm.
true to wherever they're going, they're staying true to it. And that's why I think in all professional wrestling, MJF versus Punk is the best thing we have right now.
My only critique right now of their product, because the wrestling is pretty good, is that they keep doing these abbreviated versions of mid '90s WWF angles.
Yeah.
So, for example, awesome ladder match the other night
Hmm.
to unify the TNT Championship, but certainly felt like Razor Shawn at WrestleMania 10 with the two IC titles above their head.
Yep.
What the hell was the point of having Cody Rhodes beat Sammy Guevara for the TNT title if the ultimate plan was for him to just drop it back to Sammy Guevara 2 weeks later?
I don't think that was the original
I
plan. I don't. I
I
don't.
I don't know what that was about. And there was no full-fledged Cody Rhodes heel turn. Like, I'm confused as hell as to what that was about.
Yeah. To your point, bro. I have no idea.
It felt to me like they said, "Oh, let's recreate Shawn Razor at WrestleMania 10." Now, I mean, that was what I was thinking the whole time watching it.
Yeah. To your point, bro. Um. Zero clue what the hell they did there. What they were doing. What they were thinking. I don't know. I don't know. Is it possible that he wanted to take the title, run with it, and like here's the thing with Cody Rhodes is a really, really, really good wrestler, like really fucking good, and that was clear as to the match quality there. But I don't know, man. Some of the choices that get made around that universe are just less than stellar. I would say.
That those some of those bumps were unnecessary.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, if you're gonna and
Ugh.
that was not a small ladder either. It wasn't the standard
No.
6 footer that they used to use. Now
Looked
this
like
was
about
like
12.
that. Those were 12-foot ladder bumps that they were taking, and I was just like, you're gonna put that on free TV, like. Okay, because now what's because the thing is, you put that on free TV. Okay, what's the pay per view gonna be? What are you gonna elevate it to? But
I'm with you on that, brother.
if they're trying to just get the TV ratings for now, just so that they could have like a viable argument against WWE, fine. But yeah, that match, I would have loved to have seen it happen. I'd love to see it again, but it should have happened on a pay per view. If I was booking, I'd be like, that's pay-per-view.
Well, and then my only other thought on the events of last night: Orange Cassidy beating Adam Cole. Really,
Here's the
really.
thing, man. Has Adam Cole just stopped working out altogether?
His legs look terrible, dude.
He looks thin now. Did he? Because he was never really a big guy to begin
No, but
with.
I don't remember his legs being that undefined. Like when they were getting ready to do the bump into the boxes, when Orange Cassidy hugged him, and then Adam Cole acted like he couldn't break the mighty
Hmm.
Orange Cassidy's grip. I was looking at his thighs, and I was like, again, like opinion, right? But I was just like, man, like he is such an undefined
Well, see,
wrestler.
here's the thing. Because if you're usually that skinny, for lack of a better term, out there when you wrestle, you usually have some cuts. Like you usually have some abs,
Hmm.
some striations in your legs. And especially him, if you choose to go trunks, like, because I know some guys like he wrestles for MPW. His name's Diego Valens, right?
Hmm.
Like he's like a skinnier dude, but the dude's got definition everywhere, right? Which is why he goes trunks. Um, but yeah, I wasn't seeing any. He was not a big guy before, but now he looks even skinnier. Like maybe he just stopped hitting the weight room
Yeah.
altogether. But I mean, if you're gonna do that, you should wear tights, bro, because trunks are just not helping your cause, for lack of a better
Mm.
term.
So hey, last question for the world of professional wrestling from me. What's going on with MPW, and what's going on with your charge, your main man, Mr. Alejandro? What's
Well,
going on,
MP,
Mr. Fernandez? What's going on with him?
well, Mr. Fernandez, he just had a big win against Darwin Fitch last
Mm.
Friday. Um, One clean. I mean, Darwin caught me with a sucker punch because I jumped on the apron because I wanted to ask the referee, hey, why are you allowing closed fists? Because last time I checked, closed fists are illegal. So, out of frustration, he freaking sucker punches me. But Mr. Fernandez got the roll up, got him with a schoolboy, beat him with a very clean, very fair pin. So if you're doing math at home, he's got big wins over Johnny Robbie and Darwin Finch now, two very, very, very tough opponents. And in terms of MPW, it's still the best freaking pro wrestling organization in Southern California. Tyler Bateman, who was just in Ring of Honor, he's fighting Jordan Cruz. Danny Devine's going to go up against Ray Rosas. And then
That's a
as
title match,
for.
right?
What's up?
That's a title match, right?
That is the title match, yeah. And then for the United States Championship, Big Hoss is going up against Brandon Devine, who's
Mm.
Danny's brother. Um, the Void, who I've got Auntie Heidi's shirt. Uh,
Yeah.
J2 Mattiole and Artorias are going to be fighting Rebel Storm and Milo. So, dude, it's a packed card on Friday. Us, on the other hand, see, we're gonna sit back. We're gonna watch what's going on. But
Get a lay of the land.
we're gonna get a lay of the land. We're gonna get some rest. Even though Mr. Fernandez fought a fantastic fight, I did see some tweaks we need to make to his ground game. Very minor because the man is as close to perfection as humanly possible. But we're going to be in the lab. We're going to be working on some mistakes that I saw on the ground. And then we're going to be cutting some promos to let people know what's next for us.
Well, I think I can speak for everyone when I say I'm looking forward to seeing what's next from Mr. Fernandez, and hoping that he gets some championship gold in the near future.
You know what? The gold will come, brother. For right now, what I'm looking at for him is just to fine tune, get him ready, because it's not always about how good you are, because I think he's one of the best. It's also about timing. So
Sure.
let's let them take the wear and tear right now. Let's let them put themselves through the war, and then when the time is right to strike, we will strike.
Pick your spots, man. Work smarter, not harder.
We're gonna work smart, and it's about training hard, working smart, baby.
That's right.
That's how we do it at the crypto cartel.
And that's how we do it here on the Slammer Brothers
on the
podcast. We're getting
Slammer
ready for
Brothers
the big show in
podcast.
2 weeks, baby.
Big show in 2 weeks, baby. I'm excited. So we're back in Vegas, back on stage, and we both look better now at this moment before we were on stage. We got 2 full weeks left, so I'm excited for it.
I'm excited, man. 2 more weeks. I'm going to go hit chest and tries after this, do a little cardio,
I
get
already
some
did
cardio in
legs,
the
so
morning.
I'm gonna hit a nice little nap. I'm gonna hit that nap hard.
Nappy time, that's okay.
Actually, I'm gonna pick up my daughter first in 10 minutes, and then after I get her to go to sleep, so that's about 3 hours from now, then I get to take a nap. That nap, bro, it's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
sick.
I'm gonna have to resist the urge to channel some Johnny Cage behind me before I go. But rest assured, I will be making sure I get my shit in tonight. Get to my shit in, brother. Yeah.
Get my shit in, brother. Oh yeah, you're gonna let me get my shit in, brother. All
Gotta
right.
climb to the top of the ladder.
Top of the ladder. All right, so you can follow us on Instagram at the Slammer Bros. We always stream these on Twitch, so please hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. If you see that, when you see this on YouTube, click like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on TikTok at ojackslammer. On Instagram at Jack_Slammer Fitness, and you can follow Steve Slammer on Instagram at Steve_Slammer. We've been getting a lot more viewership on this channel. It's been awesome. But until next time, you fuckers just slam it. Slammer fit. Hashtag slam her fit. Slammer fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it.